Good afternoon. Welcome to Jumpstart's monthly expert-led webinar, today with JayR Fogle on harnessing mobile apps for business success. I'm Lauren Smith-Petta, and I serve as Jumpstart's Director of Education. Jumpstart offers this webinar series on a different topic every month, along with a variety of other educational programs and events. Visit jumpstartinc.org/smallbiz to explore our services. Before I introduce our presenter today, a few obligatory Zoom housekeeping items. This presentation session will be 60 to 90 minutes. Necessary remaining time will be set aside for the Q&A portion. In your toolbar, you should be able to see an important communication tool at your disposal today, the chat. JayR may ask you to respond to questions throughout, so please place your comments there. You're also welcome to introduce yourself at any time in the chat. You can also see the Q&A, which is a great place to put your questions as they occur to you. And when we do the Q&A at the end of the session, we'll give you the chance to unmute so you can actually ask JayR verbally. At the end of today's session and in a follow-up email, you'll receive a brief survey. We appreciate your feedback. It allows us to continue to bring in experts like JayR to teach valuable lessons. All right, without further ado, allow me to introduce our presenter today. JayR Fogle is the visionary CEO of 123apps.com, an innovative online app building platform designed to democratize app development for creatives worldwide. Born and raised in Cleveland, JayR has cultivated a deep understanding of the digital landscape, leveraging his expertise to empower businesses and individuals to bring their app ideas to life without the need for extensive coding knowledge. Under JayR's guidance, the 123apps.com has flourished into a leading platform that simplifies app creation, making it accessible to everyone from seasoned developers to those just beginning their tech journey. His vision for a more inclusive and innovative digital world continues to drive the company's growth, ensuring that anyone with an idea has the tools they need to turn it into a reality. We're lucky to have him joining us today to share his expertise. JayR, welcome.
There you go. I love that intro, man. You did such an amazing job. I hope I could just live up to it, right? In the chat right now, man, give a brief introduction. What do you do? I want to know who are we working with here. As Lauren said, I'm the creator behind 123appz.com. It is a drag and drop app service in which I invented because, it's a lot easier to work and build it yourself than it is to hire a team. Now, I want to know who all is here. So in the chat real quick, just say what you do. Shout out your business. This is your time to shine, okay? So we're gonna work the room. And as we work the room, I will be using you guys as examples, and we will be using the chat a lot, all right? There we go. Hey, Judith, how are you? Okay, Reiki. You know what I'm saying? Make sure your chakras are aligned. I see you. I see you. Okay, okay. Electroplating. I love it. I love it. Let's get it. Nice to meet you. Digital jet stream. Okay. All right. I love this because now we can see that the room is full of people from a lot of different backgrounds, right? You don't have just one industry, and this is the power behind this. Now, how many of you guys have a website? Just put a 1 in the chat if you have a website. There we go, there we go, there we go. Okay, now, just to remind you guys, we are in 2024, people. There's not a lot of people that's going to websites anymore, especially to spend money. Unless, it's the top 3, and those websites are at the forefront of a lot of people's minds, okay? I'm going to show you guys not only how to simplify your process and how to streamline it, but also how to monetize in a lot of different ways. This is about to really be I call it more of a marketing course and an educational course in tech, all right? A lot of people, especially in our cultures, we're not really taught, like how to do certain things. We're taught to go to Fiverr, we're taught to go and hire all these additional people, where a lot of us, we already have the know-how. We just need, to know what it looks like. I'm a person, I can do amazing things, I just need sometimes an example. And today we're going to provide that example for everyone that's in the room. So fasten your seatbelts and let's get to it. Now for everyone that's busy, now I'm running off of 2 computers here. So I'm going to be using a lot of you guys as examples. So yeah, consider this a free coaching session for you too. All right. Hey, Ms. New Life, I see you in there. All right. Now let me give a little bit of background about myself. I started my tech journey in 2011 when I was trying to figure out a way to, at this time I was doing nightlife photography, and as a photographer, I was trying to find creative ways to get my product and service out there, right? One of the creative ways I figured out was, hey, you know what, we're using these new things, you know, these smartphones. A lot of people are at this time getting rid of their flip phones, and they have these cool features called apps, right? At that time, I think the biggest thing, Instagram wasn't really a thing at the time. I think Facebook was good and MySpace was phasing out. So now people are used to doing business on their phone. They're starting to kind of figure this thing out. So I was a little bit ahead of the curve at this time. However, I felt like I had enough juice at the time to really pull it off. So I created my first app called Fogle 365, in which I had to spend, um, I took a course at Tri-C, which at the time cost me, because it was a 9-degree course, it cost me like $1,300 out of pocket, right? But I felt like it was worth it. It was a course to teach me how to use a coding platform called Python. So I learned Python, I created the app. And we get into the app stores and I launch, right? And I'm like, hey, you know what? If you guys want your pictures, I'm not sending them to you. You got to get them off of this app. Now, mind you, this was the end of 2011. And at this time, apps wasn't really like, you know, a catchphrase. People, they knew what they were, but it's not like people were just going to the app store, downloading everything all willy-nilly. We did get a little bit of traction, but at the time we were just a little bit ahead of the curve. However, I do love that time because it gave me an opportunity to really like test the landscape and to see what was out there, to go into different markets, to see how people were positioning their products and services. And it gave me an opportunity to really like get back in the lab and hone my craft. I had to really learn how to market this new technology. Websites were still a thing. I'm trying to push apps, and I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm looking at what the going cost was. I think at the end of the day, we ended up spending, when I created Fogle 365, I spent about $17,000 to get some code created that I didn't create at the time. And that was just like, man, that was an enormous amount of money back then. Now, fast forward, 2019 comes around, and I'm in a situation where I'm like, hey, once again, I get this itch, I get this creative itch. And I'm like, yo, it's time for me to take all this knowledge that I have and this business savvy, and I want to put it into a new platform. That's when I created Local. Local was my opportunity to get back into the tech industry and really like shine. And I wanted to show other people that, hey, you know what? Now this is the perfect time to monetize this thing that I'm paying $300 a month to maintain. At that time, it was perfect time. The synergy was there. Everyone was ready. What I learned in that time frame, though, was that in the advertising, marketing, and just the business forefront of the industry, we have to adapt new ways to think about how to monetize our customer base. I don't know if you guys remember, but it was right before COVID, and there was this big push on Black-owned businesses and getting in front of your ideal customer, your ideal client. So we created a directory to really like to do that. Now, in the gap between 2011 and 2019, when we created this, I was working on the back end because I'm like, yo, there has to be a simpler way to make this process a little like to streamline this process to make it easier for the common entrepreneur to get into the industry. So I'm working on the back end on 123 at this time. So we launched Local. Everything with Local is going well. And then the world ended, right? Nobody's going outside. However, if you notice that when everyone stopped going outside, there was a few industries that took off. You had the streaming industry, and you also had the tech space, because now everyone's sitting at home, they're on their phones, and they're occupying their time, their downtime, shopping online. Amazon went crazy, right? Now imagine if you had a boutique, if you had a business that was placed in the palm of people's hands at this particular time, your business would skyrocket. Now, I do love the fact that I know a couple people that are in this class. So kudos to you, because once again, this is about to be a free marketing, a free coaching session for you. Now, Maisha, at this time, think about it like this, right? You teach classes, you have fitness courses, right? If I'm not going to a website, or if I'm not just at home, you might want to have your course in front of your ideal client and say, hey, you know what? Instead of you having to worry about coming outside and catching the germ and, you know what I'm saying, all of this, yo, you know what? We're still teaching our classes from the gym. You stay in your living room, and we're going to teach you right on this here mobile device, right? In the chat, real quick, if you think that's a good business strategy, you know what I'm saying, just put a 1 for me real quick. If you think having access to your ideal client base, there we go, there we go, there we go, where it makes it simple for people to spend money with you, right? You don't want to make it hard for people to spend money with you. I don't care what industry you're in. If you're in the insurance industry, I don't care if you're selling just bags of potato chips, it does not matter, right? You want to make it easier for people to spend money with you. And that's where I came up with, yo, you know what? Not only are we going to create this platform in which people can go in and they can create their own mobile app, we're going to create this platform, and then we're going to add a class and a course to it in which we're going to show people how to monetize this thing, right? And I'm not telling you something that is philosophy. I'm telling you something that I actually did. Now, when I created Local app, I created it originally as a directory that would allow you to locate and find Black-owned business no matter where you were in the country. Now, just because I say Black-owned business, that was just my niche market, and I wanted to make sure that I simplified it for people. But I also wanted to make it where no matter who you were, I don't care if you're Irish, I don't care if you're Indian, it doesn't matter. If you want to capture your niche audience and you want to say, hey, you know what, I want to make it so people can find our cultures, you know, businesses no matter where they're at. Because there's someone that's always looking for that business, that product, that service that somebody offers. They just don't always know where to find it at. So if you're that person and you want to make it easier for people to find your business, your product, and service, no matter where they're at, then you got to make it easy for them. And there's no easier way to do that than with a mobile app. Now, watch this. Now with Reiki, that's a little bit different, but I'm also about to show you how you can do that, because if I can't paint the picture, you ain't gonna be able to paint the picture for your customer, right? So everything has to make sense, especially when you're paying for it. Now, if you have a brick and mortar, put a 1 in the chat. I just want to see who all owns a brick and mortar business. There we go. Okay, Valid. Okay, cool. That rent get real sometime, right? That brick and mortar gets real sometime. Now, with the understanding of that, me myself, with the type of business that I have, I had to really understand and come to grips that, yo, Jay, it doesn't make sense for you to open up a brick and mortar. The overhead for what we have it would just be asking too much, right? So I had to really make every aspect of my business make sense. As business owners, especially the CEOs, and I believe that this room is full of CEOs. I don't think there's too many employees that's going to be on a call like this. So if you're the CEO, just put CEO in the chat for me. If you're a CEO, put the CEO in it. There we go. There we go, Valen. You know what I'm saying? Listen, claim your title, stand in your title. That's what I'm talking about. Understand this, people. As the CEOs, it's our job to trim the fat, make the message clear, and to present it for the people who are supporting our products, which is our employees, and those who are purchasing our products, right? There we go. See, yes, you're all of the above. I love that, Francesco. So it's our job to paint that picture for the people who are looking up to us, right? With that being said, we want to make sure that we're simplifying the process in a way that is easily digestible for those people who are looking at our product or service. And especially in dealing with tech, because there's a lot of people who will be quick to tell you that they are not tech savvy, right? I challenge that philosophy, but it ain't my job to really like paint that picture unless they're working with me or for me directly. But when you understand that, it's your job to have a clear understanding of it or hire someone to interpret it for you. So with that being said, when you understand your product, your service, there we go, player coach, yes. When you understand your product or service and you're going to market, you also have to understand that, hey, you know what? I have a clear understanding as to what this thing is supposed to do. I have to also be the interpreter. When I'm explaining it to my employees, I have to be able to dumb it down and make it simple. When I'm explaining it to my customers, I have to dumb it down even more and make it simple. So it has to be a no-brainer for them. I'm about to show you guys what that looks like in real time. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to the top. Electroplating industry. There we go. Digital jet stream. I'm going to go with Reiki because I know exactly what Reiki is. All right. And I'm going to use Maisha as well. Now, if I'm a Reiki instructor, right, I know that my customer base is a certain person, right? You want to make sure, now this is business 101, all right? And I have to explain it this way so everything else that I say after this makes sense to you and it unlocks those chambers. So business 101, you're making your customer avatar and you're saying, hey, you know what? This is a person who has a clear understanding, they're deep in their spirituality, and I know I offer this service, right? But the service can also be a product. And what that means for you is that, hey, I have an understanding that right now in 2024, there's not a lot of people that's going to websites all like that. And I still have to make a living. And I still have to take this business model that I have and evolve it so my customer base not only stays tapped into my original product and service, but they grow with me as I go. What does that look like? If I'm a Reiki instructor, then I'm saying, hey, if I created my own mobile app, right, I can monetize this thing in a lot of different ways and not cheat my customers out of my service. Let's say if you have somebody who has a busy schedule, right? Your hours may not align, but yo, you know what? I'm available at 7 o'clock. Well, I can be available at 7 o'clock if we go virtual, right? You've heard this before. There's a lot of people who may be doing virtual things, but they're not doing it like this. Well, I tell you what, meet me on the app at 7 o'clock. You're going to go ahead and log in. We're going to have a one-on-one course, right? Now, you can turn your course into more of a subscription-based service in which everyone who downloads your app, they're automatically paying you, right? Maisha, come on now, take this note. They're automatically paying you because now your service is open to them. Yo, you know what? If you download this app, we go on live every morning at 6 a.m. You can get in the 6 a.m. club. You can join us at the noon meditations. And then you can join us when we're recording live from New Life Fitness at 5 o'clock, right? The after work set. You know you're going to get this service Monday through Friday. So you built your value, right? You're staying true to the brand. You're building the value within your product and service because now you're showing them, you're saying, hey, you know what? I want to simplify this whole process for you. And I want to make it where, yo, it's at your convenience. And let's say if you missed a class, then go ahead, you have access to the recordings later. But all of this is in the palm of your hand, and you're going to get a notification to remind you just in case you forget. This is the landscape of business that we're looking at now. And now your brick and mortar, I'm not saying this for people to close down their businesses, but what I'm saying is when you start thinking smarter, it's just smarter. It says, hey, you know what? I can actually do this from my basement. We don't necessarily have to be in the office, especially if I'm teaching a course. Maisha, let's say if you're training new trainers, right? And you're doing random different things. If you don't necessarily have to be hand-on, yo, you know what? Meet me on the app. We're having training at 7 o'clock. They have their own login. There you go. This is the new way to do business in 2024 and going forward, because it ain't going nowhere. Now they talking about meet me in the metaverse, right? How would you differ from Zoom? Because this is your platform. You're not making money off of Zoom. So you can actually incorporate Zoom-ish features on your mobile app, and I'm going to show you that. So once again, guys, I'm challenging you to think smarter. Unlearn everything that you've been taught, because now there's too many steps, right? I know someone who, before we talked, they were making 5 figures on a consistent basis, but they had everyone going through 3 different steps to spend money with them, right? And their customer experience side of it sucked, because unfortunately, when you're dealing with the customer, people don't want to think or move no more than really what they want to. It's like, yo, like, come on, man. Like, although it's really just your thumb that's getting busy, to them it's too many steps. So you want to simplify it. You want to make it easy for people to experience your product and service, because now it's easy for them to spend money with you. It's easy for them to patronize you. It's easy for them to tell a friend, hey, you should join this, because, yo, I do this every morning and it's easy. I get a push notification and all of this, right? The difference is that a push notification, how many of you guys, whenever someone likes a post on Instagram, you get a notification? Whenever someone's going live, you get a notification. Now you get to harness this whole experience for your customer base. And now you're saying, hey, you know what? We're teaching a new Reiki class. Boom. We're doing a new meditation. Boom. We're adding yoga. Boom. We're doing this. We're doing that. I don't care if I'm selling insurance. Yo, we just offered a new term policy that offers this and this. We're going live at 5 o'clock. Here you go. Right? You have instant access to your customer base just by having your own app. This is the part that people miss out on. I don't check my email 24/7, but when I get a notification, I see it when it comes through. And if it's from someone I like, I check it. If that makes sense, give me a 1 in the chat. If that makes sense to you, just give me a 1 in the chat. Because you have to make it simple for people to experience your product, your service, and your business. If you're not, they will not stick, your app will not work, and all of this is for nothing. I'm telling you from what I know, not from what I heard. I've experienced it. I did that, so hopefully you wouldn't have to go through that. Yeah, I took that from Jay-Z, but nobody's checking. So listen, people, I don't care if, I don't care if you're using all of these other third-party things. What I'm trying to do is, what if someone creates a whole, hold on, because I'm answering in real time. Actually, hold on, because we're going to do the Q&A right after I wrap up, because I'm actually going to show you guys what this looks like, right? Chris, a whole app or a sample. Okay, cool. Yeah, I got you on that. Utsaf, I hope I said your name right. I got you. I'm going to answer that. So this is the thing. We're going to, and I'll answer that during the Q&A, but I want to kind of stay on this path that I'm going on. Now, think about it like this, right? Especially for my restaurant owners, if there's any restaurant owners in here, this one is for you. No matter what third-party service that you're using, you're either going to pay a subscription or you're going to pay something for it, which is okay. I get it. I don't care if you're using Uber Eats. I don't care if you're using DoorDash or anything like that. Now you're paying all these crazy fees. The thing about that is sometimes it takes us to remember what used to work in the past can still work in the present. But we have to update the idea to make it make sense for our personal business models, all right? One of my first jobs when I was younger was I used to work for Pizza Hut. I used to be a delivery boy, right? We had our own system in-house. People place the order, pizza comes out the oven, I pack everything up, boom, boom, boom. within 20 minutes or less, I'm ringing your doorbell, and there you go, right? That business model is not broken. They just tried to evolve it, but they evolved it in a way where they didn't have to do any of the work. You did the work, and you paid them to do it. Why? Because it put your business in front of their customer base, right? No problem. That's called leveraging the opportunity. I'm going to show you guys how to leverage the opportunity in a different way. You can still leverage that opportunity. You can leverage the DoorDashes, you can leverage any Uber Eats and all of these other things. But what if you leverage it in your favor? Having your own mobile app can do that for you. Especially when you say, hey, you know what? Bet. 30%, exactly. Now watch this. Maisha, watch this. I'm getting in my zone, all right? So if y'all want sauce, I need y'all to put sauce. Sauce is when I really give y'all a play that y'all can run whether y'all work with me or not. But if y'all really want sauce, here comes the sauce, all right? For my business owners who work hand in hand with customers, if you're using these DoorDashes, if you're using all of these third-party services, I'm about to show you right now how to cancel them out, put that money right back in your pocket, and grow your business all at the same time while making it profitable. I only got one sauce? Really? Okay, there we go. There we go. We got a couple more sauces in there. Cool. Let's get it. Now, the customer experience says this. They want what they want when they want, the easiest way that they could get it, right? So they're going to go to the DoorDashes. They're going to go to the thing that they're most familiar with, all right? You're going to leverage that and you're going to say, okay, cool. I'm going to invest in myself. I'm going to build my own mobile app, right? We're going to hire our own in-house people. And these are people that already work for you. They ain't doing nothing no way during the downtime. So for them to do some deliveries and you know, make $1 or $2 on a delivery, this works in your benefit. Now, you're going to leverage the DoorDash. You're going to leverage the Uber Eats. What's going to happen is the customer is going to go through their daily experience and they're going to order your business, your product, your service. It doesn't matter what it is, right? What you're going to do is you're going to tag and incentivize them to go a new route. You're going to put a sticker on your bags. Hell, you can get, if you got the budget for it, get a custom bag. And then now you're going to say, hey, you know what? Just by downloading our mobile app, think about how McDonald's is doing it. Just by downloading our mobile app, now you're going to save 20% off your next order, right? Boom. They're going to download the app because they're going to want to save the money. And DoorDash is going to take it to them. DoorDash is now working for you. So every customer that DoorDash is sending you, you're recruiting to come back to the business directly, right? So let's say if you got 10 customers that's coming to you from DoorDash, eventually that's going to go down to 7 because they're going to start downloading your app directly. You're going to get a notification every time someone downloads it. And then you can say, hey, cool. Now you can direct it to these people and say, yo, you know what? Thank you for downloading our app. Here's a free order of fries on us. Yo, here's a free smoothie on us. Every third smoothie, you get one free. Whatever promotion that you feel like that you want to throw out there for your customer, now you have a mobile device that can do that, right? In which you don't necessarily need a storefront, but you want to make sure it's a licensed facility, so don't nobody get in no trouble. But now you're cutting your overhead, you're cutting out the DoorDashes of the world, and you're keeping that money in-house. And it's coming right back to you. So that 30%, you can bust that 30% down and pay your people more, because when your employees are paid more, they're going to do more work for you, all right? Because they're happy at this point. Oh, wait a minute. They're going to be fighting to take these deliveries, as opposed to some random person who might sip out of your Coke, take a couple of your fries, and now what, right? There we go. Yes, there we go. So now, as that 10 customers from DoorDash goes down to 7, goes down to 5, goes down to 3, now the only people that you not getting are the new customers. All you doing is using them to attract new customers. Yes, DoorDash, thank you for sending them to me. Now take them this flyer so they can come directly to me next time. We don't need y'all. You cutting out the middleman. You keep that money in-house, right? Now you might be thinking, you'd be like, okay, Jay, this sounds all well and good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. Yes, I can keep the money in-house. But yo, I ain't got no extra $20,000 like you know what I'm saying, to spend on the app. I'm invested, but I ain't that invested. All right, if you feel that way, just put a 2 in the chat. We going with 2s right now. If you like, yo, like, all right, I hear you, brother. Like you preaching a good sermon, but there we go. Thank you. Let's be honest. Ain't nobody got no $10,000 to put towards no app right now. It sounds good. And philosophy, yes. Cool. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Jay, but all right. I just ain't got it like that. And that's fair, right? We have to be honest with ourselves. That is a fair comment. If someone was telling me the same thing, I would feel the same exact way, right? But that's where I say, yo, you know what? Jay did that so you wouldn't have to go through that. All right. That's why I built out the platform the way that I built it out. Now, if I told you guys that, hey, do me a favor, how much do you guys think an app in 2024 costs? Just to build out an app. Just put a number in the chat. Put a number in the chat. How much do you think it costs to do what I just said? Okay, cool, 1,000. Good guess, good guess. 15,000, good guess. No idea, that's fair. There we go. Okay, yeah. There we go. Oh, I got some more sauce for y'all. If y'all want a little bit more sauce to go on the last bit of sauce, just say put sauce in the chat real quick. If y'all just want a little bit more sauce. Okay, cool. Now watch this, right? How many people are tired of turning on social media and then you got the gurus that pop up, right? I might be one of those gurus, depending on if you follow me, but my information is different. It works. So how many people are tired of hearing the hot phrases? Yo, make money in your sleep. The ultimate goal is to make money while you sleep. The ultimate goal is to create generational wealth and all this stuff, right? How many people are just tired of just like, all right, cool, everybody talking. Yo, all right, I get it. Yes, that is all of our ultimate goal. All of our ultimate goal is to make money in our sleep. All of our ultimate goal is to create generational wealth. But brother, how do I do it? Best way to make money in your sleep is to offer a product or service or something, right? What if you were able to sell what you know and not what you have? What if you were able to sell what you know and not what you have? So the reason why I say that is because there's a lot of people on here, right, who may not have a physical product to sell a customer or something that, you know what I'm saying, like you can make a just snap decision like that, right? But you do have something else that you can offer, right? And everyone here, they know, you know your business way more than I know it. I'm a marketing guy and I'm a tech guy. I know my limitations, but I'm pretty sure I can market a little bit of any and everything. With that being said, the one thing that I do know how to market is my knowledge base, right? And also understanding my customer base, right? If you are the type of person who's like a Maisha, who's like a Mercedes, who may have, there we go, who may have something additional that you can offer. And guess what, people? In 2024, you ain't gotta be tied to one business. To do one business is cool, but what if you wake up and you had that 2:30 a.m. idea and that vision, and you say, yo, you know what? I really like to make scarves, right? And you want to start a scarf business. What if you realize that, hey, you know what? Not only can I make scarves, I can teach other people how to make scarves, right? But I want to do it in a way that's going to be instantly beneficial and can show proof of concept that, yo, this thing can actually work. Having a mobile app does that because now you can wake up legit and say, yo, you know what? I do believe in myself enough to actually bring this thing to fruition. And it's not going to break my bank. We'll get into that to the numbers thing. I know y'all feel like I left y'all hanging on the cost, but I want to paint the picture a little bit more for you. Because when you're able to sell something that you know, that changes the landscape in what you have to offer. Because I don't know what you know. And if I think I do, I definitely don't know how to do it how you do it, right? My lady is a vegan, but guess what? I'm not. But it might behoove me to download Maisha's vegan app and take her cooking class in which she gives recipes out every week. Yo, I can join her subscription and now I get these recipes every week that's going to show me how to make these vegan dishes. Oh, Maisha's going live. Oh, wait a minute, Mercedes, she's showing us how to wholesale clothes. Oh, Trina's showing us how to set up an event business, right? I'm dropping my ebook. I'm selling this product. I'm selling this service, right? So it's not just having a tangible physical thing that you want to package and sell. Sometimes you can package and sell your knowledge in a cool new way that's going to save you the overhead, save you the headache, place you in front of your ideal customer because nobody leaves the house without their phone. You just got to get creative enough with your offering and figure out, yo, let's see how we can make this make sense. So I hope that rounds out the creative ways that you can actually utilize having a mobile app in 2024 as opposed to a website. And I'm not trying to take a dump on websites, but what I'm saying is, I know me personally, I haven't gone to a website on purpose, outside of maybe like an Eventbrite. Even with Eventbrite, on my app, you get whenever I'm having an event, you can just go on there, you can get the tickets directly from me. You skip the fees. But now, hopefully I'm challenging you guys to think outside the box, right? Because a lot of people may not have enough startup capital to say, yo, you know what? Man, this dude on here talking about building the app. Now he talking about selling these products. What if I ain't got the inventory? Sell what you know, not what you have. Because that's always an option, all right? Now, without further ado, let's talk about two things, right? How many people got enough time to go back to school and learn how to build an app? Put a 1 in the chat if you got time. Put a 2 if you don't have time. Like, yo, like, there we go. There we go. There's a lot of twos going on. Balance like 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Yes, exactly, right? Nobody has the time to actually learn Python. Nobody has the time to learn how to learn HTML all over again. It's just not the thing. It's not what we doing right now. We got life be life in some time, and I just ain't got time to go to school. All right, it's just a fact. With that being said, we simplified the process for you guys. We want to make sure that the average person that's downloading, that's going on to 123, you can legit build an app as easy as 123. All right, it's legit that you go on, you create the account, it creates a template for you. So you just tell it, hey, this is the type of business that I have. This is what I wanted to do. There you go. Creates a template. You sign up for your subscription. Then you can go in and you customize it. Everything is drag and drop, people. And it does not break the bank. It's only your first month after you launch, right? You have to pay a couple different things. I'm telling you the fees because this is the thing that hangs people up, all right? And if this is going to stop you from doing business, then you really probably need to, yes, I'm going to do the screen share in a second. So, oh, hold on, wait. Oh, we did pull it up. All right, cool. This is the type of thing that stops a lot of people because when it stops them, your business usually stops. And then what, right? We ain't about to do that. I know this group is full of go-getters and people who just want to see that it's possible. And they just like me, they just need to see an example of it working. And that's what we're going to do for you guys. Dope thing is that with 123, it's only $200 a month. Outside of that, now that's if you go in, build it yourself. This is what I encourage everybody to do. If you want me to do it, it's gonna cost you a little bit more, but I'll have it done within 7 days for you. Another dope thing is, and this is something that people need to realize, the average launch time for a mobile app is 30 days. And it's not because it takes that long to build it. I built an app for a client in 4 hours, all right? But when you're dealing with the app stores, that's a whole nother monster. Google is amazing. I love Google. But unfortunately, you have the majority of Apple users run the world. It's $40 for the year to sign up for Google. It's $100 for the year to sign up for Apple, because you have to have what's called a developer account. When you have your developer account, then that allows you to really like rent the space in their app stores. Outside of that, you're paying your hosting account. Now, a lot of people say that they have brick and mortars already, right? So you're paying your rent. Your rent is really like, that's your hosting, all right? That's how your app runs. That's your back end of your app. Nothing on here is hard to do. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something in real time for you guys to show you in the chat. Tell me what kind of business you would like to see. Just give me an idea. The first come, first serve. We'll build it out and I'll show you just how easy it is, right? What if you said a carryout, vegan carryout, a staffing agency? All right, bet. Let's do all of the above. Can you guys see my screen? Put it in the chat real quick if you can see my screen. No? Oh, okay, hold on. Let me do this. All right, so, all right, there we go. This is the back end, okay? So I created this app called Jumpstart, all right? Because Jumpstart is my favorite company. All right, let me close the chat real quick. All right, guys. So we have our mobile app here, and this is the back end. So if you create an account on 123, this is what it looks like. All right, so you see the phone on the side there? That shows you an example as to what the screen looks like. So we're going to do a couple of different cool things here. So we're going to go into home. I think I was already home. There we go. And first we're going to choose a cool layout for it. All right. So we're going to go with this one because this one shows you kind of like just a little bit of everything real quick. And then you'll be able to see the page. Actually, you know what? Let's get a little sexy with it. If we're gonna make it look right, we might as well make it look right. All right. Now, once again, none of this stuff is rocket science, people. So if you need me to slow down, just put it in the chat. Jay, slow down. You're doing too much. Hold on, let me lift this chat up real quick. All right. Now, once again, this is 123appz, not sz.com. All right, so we're going to create a vegan carryout. We'll do that first. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to add a feature. In the features part, we're going to say restaurant. So, and here it's called food court, okay? So we're going to add the food court. Boom. So we got that in there. Boom. It's going to load for us. And then it's going to say add the restaurant, all right? So we're going to say new life, just because I rocks with my people. And you can go in here and change the logos and all that stuff if you choose to, all right? So boom. Add restaurant. Then it takes you to the back end. Now, if you guys notice, this is how you do everything. For my restaurant owners and for anybody else who may, be in that industry, don't this look familiar? Don't this look familiar? Yo, you have your delivery people, so you can track who did what deliveries. You can manage your orders. You have your standard settings. You can import your menu. So if you have it on a spreadsheet or something like that, you could just import it directly into the program. And then you also have your sales reports, right? It's your whole POS. All right. Boom. You can also just go in and add the menu options manually. Very simple process, right? Boom. Now, if you notice on the side here, you can also add different locations. So if you have a location, we're all in Cleveland. So if you have one in Shaker, if you have one in Euclid, if you have one on the west side, where it says Pizza Hut, McDonald's, Subway, and all that stuff, yo, you just got your locations right here. These are the ratings that the customers have given you. You know what I'm saying? Different things like that. People can go in, they can comment, and this is your own in-house system, right? You're the only person that sees the back end. The customer sees the front end. So this is what the customer sees. So they're like, all right, cool. Let's say if you have a location that's in a different state, if you got one in Atlanta, then there you go, right? So I'll give you guys a little bit of an insight. So we're launching chapters, right? So there's a chapter of local that's going to be in Atlanta. There's a chapter that's going to be in Dallas, right? So in both of those cities, they're all using the same app, but they're going to have a different experience based upon how we set this up on the back end, all right? No matter what your business, your product, or your service is, you can do the same thing. You can have it where it's a universal experience for everyone, or you can have a customized experience if you have different locations, or you may just have different people running different stuff in different parts of the country. And there's just subtle differences. So you can have that directly in your own thing. So now your restaurant is all set up just like that, right? Was that easy enough? I think I did that in less than 3 minutes. You can put it in the chat. If that was easy enough for you guys, no, boom. What was the other thing? Let's say if you want to do a clothing store, all right? Because I know I see Mercedes in here. So if we want to do a clothing store, we're just going to go to add feature. And then we're going to go into commerce. Boom. And then we're going to say, hey, you know what? We want to do, actually store. So you can do a third-party store. So if you want to plug in your Shopify or anything like that, or let's say if you just want to have a store directly on here, there you go. It's going to load. Same thing, going to manage. And here's your whole back end, once again, people. Now, let's say we want to add a product. Don't this look like your POS that you're already using? Those look like the Shopify backend that you're already using? But now instead of you paying the Shopify fees, instead of you having to go through all of that, you're keeping everything in-house. That's the whole point of all of this, right? This ain't no long sales pitch. I don't care if you use 1, 2, 3 or not. I would love it if you did. But the reality of it is, in 2024, there's more than one way to skin a cat. And it's time for us to start thinking ahead of the curve and say, hey, yo, you know what? Why am I paying y'all all this money? It don't make sense no more. Those little percentages per transaction add up. Now, one thing that I will say is that on here, let me shrink this out so I can get the word. All right, so on here, you can use Stripe, you can use PayPal. I use PayPal for most of my transactions just because of they have seller protection. So it's like, yo, like instead of people trying to, do fraud on you or say that they never got their stuff, the seller is protected on the back end. Now you're covered on all your bases. You don't have to worry about all the extra stuff anymore, right? You add your products. So even that process looks just like your POS. It's all the same steps. So none of this stuff is reinventing the wheel. None of this stuff do you need to take a long coding course for. It's all drag and drop, okay? If y'all still with me, let me see a 1 in the chat. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Now, I want to do something a little bit different, right? Let's say if you are not any of the people that I just spoke on. Let's just say if you are a consultant, right? Yo, you know what? Jay, I get it. Everything that you said makes sense, but none of this stuff really applies to me. What does apply to you? Who are you? Who are you at your core? If you're a consultant, then Let me show you this. Let's say, now also, hold on. Let's say if you have clients who, if you're a therapist, if you a business coach, if you are a fitness coach, Maisha, right? If you don't sell a product or service or anything yet, because I suggest everybody should have something to sell. I don't care if you're selling bracelets, wristbands. You can sell a motivational word of the day. Doesn't matter. Just figure out a way to package it and sell it, right? But let's say if you're just that person who you don't want to have to worry about shipping nothing. You just don't want to worry about none of that. But you are a business. My thing would be like, yo, we work smarter, not harder over here. You could turn your app into subscription based. I'm a coach, and most of my clients, they have a subscription. So in order to even log into the app, you got to pay for your subscription. And if it lapses, you don't get back into the app until you pay your subscription up, right? So then they have access to you. Then they have access to all the features that you may have within your app. You can add a wall. There's not even like a thing in which the sky is the limit anymore, because that ain't it. The sky ain't the limit. Your imagination is the limit at that point in time, right? So if your imagination is the limit, then you can really take this thing as far as you want, because we've added so many additional features that you can do whatever you want to do. You just have to figure out how you want to monetize it. And I know I'm speaking a lot about monetization and money and things like that, because to me as a business owner, that's the thing that really like hits home. That's how I feed my family. So I try to paint the picture to show other people like, yo, like this is how you can feed your family. This is how a creative way where you don't have to worry about renting a building. You don't have to worry about any of the additional overhead, additional light bill, additional phone bill, none of that stuff. Yo, you can start with where you're at right now. Listen, I'm at my home right now. I work out of my house, but I have 5 people that work for me across the country, and they clock in and out directly on the app. Yo, you know what? Boom. Timesheet. Yo, what time did you clock in today? Right? Come on. Yo, you know what? I check your times and you wait a minute, hold on, something ain't adding up. I have a VA that works for me, and she has to clock in, right? So if you add all of these features up and you look around your business, I've turned every aspect of your business into a button. Every aspect of your business can be a button, literally, right? So for all my business owners out there who, when the first of the month comes around and you're like, all right, let me look at these numbers. Let's make sure that we good, right? I want to make sure that you're great. And the best way to make sure that you're great is to show you how you can save money and how you can increase your income all at the same time, right? And even if you say, hey, you know what, we cool with where we at, but we want to add more income on top of what we already have, then this is perfect still. Because within this call alone, I've showed you how to monetize in many different ways, right? And let's say this. Let's say if you say, you know what, Jay, this all sounds all well and good, but I just need a platform to house my business on. Not a problem, right? But I still want to show you how to monetize one aspect of it as well. You can actually run ads for other businesses, right? Your friends, and you say, hey, you know what? It's nothing to send out a text blast to all your friends in your contact list and say, yo, they're on the business anyway. And say, hey, yo, I know that you own the business. I'm about to launch my app. How about this? For $25 a month, I'll market and promote your business to the people that use my app. Is that cool? Bet. Yeah. Who not gonna do that? If you came to me right now and say, yo, you got an ad for $25, yo, here, take it. I'd rather throw $25 at the chance of attracting a new customer than not. You get a couple people, your app is paid for by itself anyway. There you go. Did you say you can send text blasts through the app? You can't send text blasts through the app, but what you can do is you can do push notifications. And when you do your push notifications, you can get so frisky where you can say, yo, you know what? I only want to target people in East Cleveland. I only want to target people in Euclid. I only want to target people in Bedford. So you can actually do it based upon their geolocation, or you could just do a broad text blast to everybody that has the app. So there you go. Can you set up the app? Yes, Twilio. Look, Valen, if you know how to use Twilio, then you're 99% ahead of the curve and you can add any feature. Because with there are certain features within the app in which you have to use a Twilio account because of the broadness of it. For instance, let's say if you want to create the new Instagram, or let's say if Maisha wants to create a community for New Life, right? Where it's like, yo, you know what? We just want to have a wellness community and we want to house them directly on our app. You have to use, but we walk you through the process of setting up the Twilio. So let me show you what that looks like. I'm glad you asked that. So watch this. So if you go into here, and as you see, we have, let's say if you do Airbnb, you can set up reservations, right? You can set up your own Airbnb service directly through your own particular app, right? Come on now. I just want to show you that there's nothing that is impossible anymore. We have no limitations on anything that we want to create. We just have to be daring enough to go and do it, right? If you bought that life, just put in me. If you bought that life, if you're not afraid to bet on yourself, just say me. Put a me in the chat. So let's say if you want to do a social network. All right. Boom. It's going to load. Once it loads, there you go. Don't that look familiar, people? Don't that look familiar? Now, with the social network, what I want to show you guys is here. Oops. Oh. So we have little helper things that will walk you through how to set up everything on the back end. Okay. Come on, man. All of this stuff is drag and drop. And when you go to set it up, you're good to go. You can set up the page's SEO directly on here. You don't have to hire, you know what I'm saying, nobody to do that no more. It's 2024. This ain't the early 2000s. There are people that will tax you. You know what I'm saying? I encourage people to figure out, yo, like, you know what? I'll do it myself. I will build your app for you. I can build your app for you. It's one of the services that we offer. Just to clarify, we can purchase your app service to build the app ourselves or hire your company. Yes, correct. Yes. Yes, correct. But it's like, yo, like, this is one of those things. And the reason why I want to make it where you're able to do it yourself is because let's say if you wake up at 2 a.m. and you want to change something on your app, wouldn't you want to be able to do it yourself as opposed to wait until I wake up? Right? Because you ain't texting me at 2 a.m. talking about, hey, I need to, no, really? That ain't about to happen. My lady ain't going for that, right? So you want to be able to do certain things yourself and not be afraid of it. Don't let the technology punk you out. Don't be afraid of technology, all right? Embrace it. This is the whole purpose behind it. I want to make this so even if you say, yo, you know what, Jay, I may not want to do an app, but I want to show my kids that they can create that business of their dreams, whatever they may want to do. My son has a comic book app, right? But with his comic book app, I'm showing him this is entrepreneurship. Now it's feasible. Now he sees that it's real. Oh, I don't have to get all of this money up. I don't have to do all these things that I thought was going to be difficult. This is how I can actually get this done. That's the whole point. I just want to show you guys, yo, this is possible. This is what it looks like. And this is how you can get it done. None of this stuff is rocket science. We've made it simple for you guys to just log in and do it yourself. If you get stuck, you can always reach out. But this is what app creation in 2024 looks like. Now, if you want to create an app that, just, every time I sneeze, I want to turn blue, that's a little bit different, right? But, if you're just using things that are feasible for the common person just to do business with you, there you go. Yes, 123appz.com. There you go. Now, guys, just in case you guys log in, I want to give you guys this discount code because for Jumpstart, we wanted to do something special. So for Jumpstart and the people that's on this call, I'm going to put it in the chat. It's use that discount code, and there you go. But now I want to open up the floor for Q&A. And yeah, what y'all got?
You can raise your hands and we can unmute you, or you can put your question in the Q&A or the chat.
Oh, hold on. My bad, everyone. Sorry.
Questions you all have? JayR, I think you covered literally everything there is about apps for small businesses.
Well, the thing is, Lauren, is that people will, when I first got in, I didn't have anyone to show me. I had to figure it out. And then once I figured it out, it was like, I know if I'm having this problem, I know there's other people just like me that's having the same problem. Getting in front of your ideal customer is difficult in 2024 because you're competing with so many other people. So why not attract the people that's already doing business with you, have a creative way to stay in contact with those people in which you're not competing with the algorithm. You have your own algorithm. You compete with you.
There you go. Maisha has a question. Please go ahead, Maisha.
Hi, Jay. Thank you so much for the presentation. It's funny that I've been thinking about creating an app, but as you know, I have more than one business, and the one particular one with New Life, what has steered me away from it is that I feel like it can become really complicated with just the CRM management, the database of so many 8,000 clients, prior clients. Can the app hold a database that large?
We have 30,000 in our database.
Perfect. Okay. And then also, could it be where I could create the app for New Life Fitness, but then there's a section of login or something where it still takes them to the current software we're using?
What's that? Like, what are you using now?
We're using something called Gym Master. That's how they book and schedule all of their classes and things like that.
Yeah. So is it just a website?
It can be a website. They can get to it too.
Yeah, because that could just be a button where people they don't realize that they even left the app. Like I have tons of stuff on mine where you don't even know that you left the app. But yeah, it just says book class.
Okay, good.
They go on there, book.
Perfect. Okay, thank you so much.
No problem, no problem.
It looks like we have a question from Valen. It says, is there any additional cost for the cloud usage, or is $200 an all-in cost?
All in. The additional cost is like when you go to submit. So in total, your first launch out the door, I think it's at $500. So that's $500 for you to out the door. You're in the app stores. With Apple, it takes about 14 days for them to approve it. Once it's approved, you're good to go. So that's why I tell people, give yourselves like a 30-day window from the time that you start to create to the time that you know what I'm saying, are in the app stores. But after that, it's just $200. There's no, they don't do like the Planet Fitness, how they hit you with that $50 like once a year or anything like that. It's just not, it's just $200. So once you're gone, you're gone. It's just all your fees and everything is included with that first time charge. There you go.
Great. I already know the answer to Anthony's question. Can you download the app from the App Store? The answer is yes.
Yes. Yep. Definitely.
Judith is wondering, do you offer a consultation so that they can reach out to you and talk with you and see if it is a good fit?
Yeah, definitely. I just took my text number down. Hold on. So I'll put my Calendly link directly in the chat.
Awesome. We can also include that in the follow-up email as well, just
Okay,
in
yeah.
case.
I'll give you my Calendly link.
Cool,
So
we'll do that.
in the follow-up email.
Jeanette said, I think this would be great for a Canton nonprofit that serves 8 to 14-year-old girls. If parent approves, can the app be used by minors?
Yes. So really your app is your app. Whatever you design it to do is whatever you design it to do. I think that's a great idea, especially as kind of like a virtual safe space, because a lot of teens need that. There's people who, they incorporate certain buttons, whereas if someone gets in trouble or anything like that, yo, here, this could automatically connect you with somebody. So yeah, however creative you want to be with it, you can do whatever you want.
Fantastic. In the follow-up email, we will include Jay's contact information and his Calendly link, as well as ways you can reach out and consult with him. So first of all, JayR, thank you so much for being a font of wisdom today. I think we all learned a lot about the resource and about app building and the necessity for it in general. So really quickly, I want to mention a couple of webinars we have coming up. We always have more coming up on the third Wednesday of every month. We have Maximizing Revenue with Written Content coming up on March 20th, and Cybersecurity Unveiled, Navigating the Myths and Realities for Small Business on April 17th. You can review all of this on our website at jumpstartinc.org/events. At the end of today's session and in a follow-up email, as I mentioned, you'll receive a brief survey via email. We appreciate your feedback as it allows us to continue to bring in experts to teach valuable lessons like this. Thank you all for coming. Have a wonderful afternoon. And thank you again, JayR, for all of your expertise.
No problem. Thank you.